Cue the intro. Go. It's a cold, rainy Sunday, and I'm recording on my phone, so sorry if the audio is a little Um, but there's something I really, really wanted to talk about that my mentor has said constantly. I think it's one of the things he lives by. And now I'm starting to rehearse it over and over and over again in my head. And it's time to talk about it. There's something in business when you're starting to do marketing, you're not going to know what to do. You're not going to know. You're going to feel kind of aimless, and you're going to think, okay, what's going to bring in the most money? I've talked about this. What's going to bring in the money? That's the one thing you want to focus on, is what's going to bring in that initial money or the most money. What's that green dot? I know of someone who talks about the green dot, red dot. Certain things that do not bring in money are red dots on his to-do list, and the other things that do bring in money are the green dots, and he focuses on the green dots. But my mentor said that there's three separate things in the world of marketing, and I want to go over each of those three things. The first thing is the traffic. When you're doing marketing, there's traffic, and you have to deal with traffic. How are you getting people to come into your business? There's many different ways to get people to come into your business, but how are you going to do that? And you have to focus on traffic. Traffic's the first thing. You have to figure that out, and otherwise you can't have anyone to sell, and you won't have any money. Ultimately, traffic's really important, and to have a consistent amount of traffic is also important. I've studied in a few different people talk about traffic retention. So customer retention, LTV, stands for lifetime value. What is the lifetime value of your customer? That's a different source of traffic. There's cold traffic and there's warm traffic, warm leads. Cold traffic, I'm sort of going on a rant here, and I'm sorry if it's kind of hard for you to follow. I'm just trying to emphasize the main 3 points by talking about each of them in particular, all the specifics that go into each of them. This first one is traffic, and there's warm traffic and there's cold traffic. There's warm traffic who already knows you. You might already know this, but warm traffic knows you and knows your product, at least to some extent. There's warmer traffic than some, but then there's also cold traffic. Cold traffic hasn't never heard of you. As you can probably guess, warm traffic is easier to get. And so you should probably focus on warm traffic at first. People who already know about you. I used to work for a brick and mortar as their director of marketing, and the warm traffic was the traffic that came and walked right by that store all the time. That's warm traffic. Cold traffic is the people who have never been there but are looking for something that would fulfill the needs that company provided, which was entertainment in their case, family entertainment. So that would be cold traffic, and it's so much harder to attract cold traffic, and you can do it, but you should focus on warm traffic first, the people who already know you or at least have heard about you, and figuring out how to get them into your business, and ultimately to convert them. So traffic is number one. So traffic is the first thing that you really want to focus on in your business. It's one of the three. And I want to tie it all in, and once I go over all three at the end, why I bring up all three and what they have to do with each other. But stay put. Traffic is the first thing. Second thing is funnels. A funnel is, people in the technical marketing world would call a funnel a website, because that's what they see it is in their mind, that it's a website. When in generalistic terms in the marketing world, a funnel is something that it moves your customer from point A to point B, or point A to point Z ultimately, because you're, by a series of events, drawing the wider audience of your traffic, remember traffic, the wider audience of your traffic down closer and closer and closer, and it's a funnel because it narrows off. It starts out wide with all of that traffic, and then some of the traffic dies down, dies down, dies down, dies down until you get a small, it could be 3%, it could be 10% of conversion rate. People actually coming and buying whatever you're selling. But that's the funnel. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a website. In technical terms, it probably could be a website, but a funnel, you have to look at it as the big picture. That whatever it is, that the series of events that make this. And sorry for my hair. My hair's all messed up today. I had to go outside in the rain. It's really rainy out there. So that's the second thing, is the funnel. First thing is the traffic. Second thing is the funnel. And then I'm going to tie all these in, remember. The third thing is the product. The product. So the product has to be good. And you have to really focus on having a good product. That's a third thing that you need to focus on. And make sure the product is good. There's not much to say on this. It's a product. Whatever. Make sure you're good at what you do. Make sure you're advertising things that you can actually provide for people. Don't advertise things that you can't provide for people. Don't, in your marketing, overemphasize. If you're not the best in the state, don't say you're the best in the state. If you don't believe that you can help people with X, Y, and Z, then don't say that. That's not good marketing. Marketing is getting people to appreciate you for who you are and over fulfilling their needs once you actually bring them in and sell them. Then over producing for them to make sure they're satisfied. Okay? Going above and beyond. That's what I believe in, and I think that's what you should do as well when it comes to a moral perspective of true customer service and providing for your customer. So first thing was the traffic. Second thing is the funnel. Third thing is the product. Traffic, funnel, product. Remember those three things. Get them cycling in your head like my mentor. And now tying them together. Why those three things? My mentor would say, this is what he'd say. He'd say, if you're going to start marketing for a company, you have to make sure that company has two of those three things already in the bag. Two of those three things already accomplished and already doing well. If you're going to start marketing for them and marketing successfully. Why is that? Because you know that two of those things are good. Now all results depend on your accomplishment of that one thing. Whatever the third thing is. In other words, if you know that two of those things are good and they don't need, like, for example, let's say your product is good, this product is good, and then you already have a ton of people coming to check out this product. Traffic. Product is good, traffic is good. Now you need to focus on the funnel. But you don't have to worry about those other two things because you have to, you know they work and you know they're already coming in. Now just focus on the funnel. And now you're able to, like I've said in a previous episode of the show, able to single out the independent variable. So you have one independent variable that you're testing. Back to in 7th grade science class, right? So two of the three things need to be already doing well, okay? Traffic is, if you are a business that's already got lots of good amount of business, right? You probably have the traffic already, and you probably have the product good. But the funnel is probably what you need to focus on. If you know people have been satisfied with the product that you provide, and you've got a funnel all set up and ready for people to walk through, now traffic is your issue. And you need to focus on traffic. And that could mean you need to drive Facebook ads to whatever you're doing, or get better SEO, or do better email retention, post-purchase emails. There's a lot of things you could do to drive traffic. Okay? So Make sure you have two of the three things. And then the third thing is the product. If you are good at the traffic, or you've got someone doing Facebook ads, or someone really good at Facebook ads, by the way, make sure you're doing that, or any other type of advertisement, or you're ready to learn that, then, and you've already incorporated a schedule to learn how to get traffic, that's great. That's great. Make sure that's traffic. You got traffic out of the way. Product, if you know what you're going to provide is something that your customer base would want, then that's number two. You've already got the product too. So traffic and product are, I don't know. No, not the product. So again, if you got the funnel, you got the funnel built, and you know how to get traffic, and you're ready to study to get traffic, then you need to figure out your product. And figuring out your product could mean that you go and literally ask your customer base what they would want. And there's a series of ways to do that. You could do that by survey. You could do that by going on to Facebook groups with your dream customer in them, and then go ask them questions. You could actually run traffic that has people fill out a quiz. Boom, you got traffic, and they're filling out a quiz, and they tell you directly what you want. There's tons of ways to do that. But the whole point of this is that you have to make sure you have 2 out of 3, or you get into a position in which you have 2 out of those 3 things already accomplished and good to go, so that you can test that third thing. It's really, really, really important. Otherwise, you are going to struggle. You're going to struggle, and you're going to try to grab at every branch you possibly can in order to get new customers, and you will not value your time like you should, or your product like you should, and it's not going to be all that great, and you aren't going to make moves like you need to. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit spitfire or a little bit intense. I know I've kind of talked this whole time and haven't really given many pauses to let things sink in. But if you need to, go back and take notes. But just remember those 2 of 3 things you need to have right. There's traffic, a funnel, and your product. All right, take care. I will try to survive this rainy day. Maybe it's like 3 p.m., so I've still got a good rest of the day to rest, and then here we go. New week. Talk to you later. Bye.